Gonna wing it. It's a beautiful day in New York City. It's Good Friday. I'm not sure why they call it that, since that's the day that Jesus was allegedly crucified, but there you have it. I take the story of Jesus symbolically. His myth is echoed in other traditions that are older than Christ's. Dionysus, um, uh, in Egypt as well. I'm not remembering all the names of all the gods, but the story of death and resurrection exists around the world throughout time, and it is a story of hope and renewal and the truth of human existence, of divine human existence. We all enter the cave of darkness, of despair, of seeming death, and hope springs eternal and life springs eternal. Spring just explodes after the darkness and the cold and the seeming barrenness of existence, and all of life is cyclical, which is one of the reasons I believe in reincarnation, and millions, billions of people around the world also do, because spirit is eternal, but clearly the physical form is temporal. It's temporary, and ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But we celebrate this time of renewal because nature is, coming, exploding into beauty after the darkness of winter. And I believe this country and this planet during this Great Awakening is coming into a big explosion of awareness, of awakening, based on all the experience that we've gone through in our personal lives, in our many lifetimes, throughout millions of years on this earth. Many of us have come back again and again to accrue unique experiences as man, as woman, as different races. We've most likely done everything and had everything done to us, good, bad, and ugly, and that's how you learn what it's like to experience physical life. And what you decide to do with it is up to you. So I want to encourage spring cleaning. Cleanliness is next to godliness. It's also just really good to take stock of what you have, release what you're not using to charity, compost. Nature wastes nothing. So I'm big on not just tossing, but recycling, or seeing that other people have the opportunity to use some of the stuff you're discarding. I don't have the option to do a garage sale in Manhattan, but I donate to charities, goods that I'm no longer using, and it's a wonderful thing to do. It's also really great to just take stock of what you have. I went into one of my drawers today and found stuff I didn't know I had. So many people buy more of what they already have because they don't even know what they have. So take stock. It's a really great time at this time of year to renew your own energy, to renew your home through cleaning, through going through your clutter, through releasing what you don't need anymore. Spring training. Get your body moving. We all need exercise, no matter what your physical limitations may be. If all you can do is stretch, then stretch. That's what animals do, right? They don't, our house pets don't necessarily do much, although they sometimes race around the house if they have the energy. But just moving your body is so valuable to get your juices flowing, the juice in your joints, and gentle movements like Qigong. There was a group in a local park doing Qigong this morning, and it's wonderful. It's a great way to be with other people, to be outside, but you can feel the energy of joy in the air because it is so beautiful, because it's spring. And I believe we're in for some very rude awakenings politically. Of course, many of us will delight when the shit hits the fan and things that we've been waiting for a very long time start happening. It could very well be soon. It's looking that way. The pieces are falling into place daily, legally, with the John Durham case, with the various lawsuits, with Project Veritas being so vigilant in exposing, our corrupt non-journalists who are really operatives. Who are they really? They're all promoting the same agenda worldwide, a consolidated, concerted effort to present the same lies worldwide, protecting big pharma, protecting the globalists. More people are waking up to this fact that there has been massive brainwashing or mass psychosis, hypnosis, psychosis going on, and one of the ways that people are entrained is through electronics, and that's just something to be mindful of. It's very quiet here now in Manhattan, in my home, and that's not something you often hear because people have TVs blaring or radios blaring, or they're always on their phone, they're always talking, and people don't know how to be quiet and to go within and to be with themselves. And that is such a valuable, powerful activity, is to just learn to be comfortable with yourself, learn to like yourself, challenge yourself to like yourself if you don't already. It all starts with you. How you feel about yourself is what you then project onto the world. You don't see the world the way it is, you see the world the way you are. So back to movement in the Q community. There were 3 military planes yesterday over the East River. That always excites me because I know stuff is happening, but it's really great to see signs of it. I grew up in Manhattan. I have never seen military planes until the last few years, and thank God for the 17 movement for helping me to understand what's going on. Big things are going on. 80% of it is behind the scenes. We only know the tip of the iceberg about what's really going on legally, militarily, and as it has to be. It has to be this way. We'll find out more, maybe not all, but we'll find out more of what's been going on eventually. But in the meanwhile, so what can you do? What can you control? You can clean your house. You can cook. You can make artwork. You can exercise. You can reorganize your life in new ways. Take stock of what you like, what you don't like so much, and instead of hating things that you don't like, just move away from them. Don't expend energy hating. Just release. Just recognize you have a preference towards something over here. So move away from that. And where people get caught in quicksand is they spend so much time hating and fighting with what they don't want, they actually create a bigger bond. What you focus on gets bigger. So don't focus on what you don't like. Identify that this is something, a relationship, a situation, a job that is, I believe, is no longer in my best interest. I'm going to release from it. And you do that by neutralizing. And you do it even more so by focusing on what you want. And if what you want is not clear yet, what you do is focus on a feeling of clarity and feeling good. So maybe that's through exercise. Maybe that's just through cleaning your house. And when you generate feeling good, that is when you attract into your life things that reflect that feeling. We are magnetic creatures, electromagnetic creatures, and your feelings and your thoughts literally magnetize to you what you want. They also magnetize to you what you don't want. The law of attraction. If you're really focused on agitation, and I can't tell you, I love watching forensic shows and unsolved mysteries, and how many people are in just a crappy state of mind and who then attract more crap. And I'll give a really quick example. There was a young woman who, newlywed, very happy, and 6 months later her husband was killed in an accident, and she got very despondent. She moved home out of state where she was living with her husband to go work in her mom's bar, I think, and she had no joie de vivre. And what happens but a biker dude who happens to be a hardcore criminal, violent crimes against people, sweeps her off her feet. And on the one hand, I sort of got it. It's like, if you're down and depressed and here's this dangerous, sexy person who enters your life, but she wasn't using her head. And ultimately she spent several years with him, cut herself off from the people who really loved her, like her mom and her family and friends, and she ended up being killed in a car accident. But, you know, I love human interest stories. I love analyzing them. You know, only her soul knows why she did what she did. But I just looked at the scenario on the surface. You're in a bad frame of mind. She was depressed. She lost her will to live pretty much. And, you know, in walks Mr. Danger, and that jazzed her up. It also took her out. So you could say that even before she got involved with him, a part of her just didn't want to live anymore. And 4 years later, she got her wish, but she had a hell of a ride in the meanwhile. But, you know, with a violent person who probably used her more than he cared for her, but who knows? You know, again, we can only look in. We can only look in from the outside. We don't know what really went on in her head or her heart, obviously. But my point is, you know, when you're in the dumps, when you're low, when you're not clearly focused on what you do want, your energy of despair, of depression, leaves room for people who might take advantage of you, see an opportunity, or even if they feel it. They feel, oh, there's someone who really doesn't care much, so I'm just going to take her for a ride and use her in whatever way. You know, but it suited her purposes on some level. So be clear. Be clear if you don't want to be hurt, if you want to be happy, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be abundant. Clear your home, clear your head, clear your heart. And don't fight your demons. Identify them, release them, and move toward what you want. I make it sound simple. It gets easier over time, I'll tell you that. You know, the happier you are, the happier you get. And the happier you are, the better your life is. And you attract into your life circumstance wonderful things, even if they're small things. You know, I am delighted by the simplest of pleasures, you know, just finding little things, or a beautiful plant or I mean, New York is just filled with beautiful flora and fauna right now, so it's a delight to take in. So, you know, move your body, move your mind, recreate. Life is never the same. Nature always recreates, which is why we reincarnate. If you're open to that awareness, it's a very liberating one, you know. Voltaire said it's no more surprising to be born twice than once. You know, life is a miracle. Physical life is a gift. It's a miracle. It's not long lasting, you know, so make your ride as enjoyable and joyous as we rise with the Christ energy within us. The Greeks say Christos anesti, which means Christ is risen. Christ rises within us. And I and other people believe that the second coming is literally the consciousness, the love of the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is love being awakened within human beings worldwide, to those who are open to it. You know, obviously some people that are really closed down, they can't allow it. So the earth is still frozen, the plants are not going to grow there. So you warm yourself up by opening your heart, healing yourself. You can't do it for anyone else. So really just tend to your own garden, make your garden as enjoyable, as beautiful as possible, and watch miracles blossom and grow in your own life. So happy Easter, Christos anesti, and remember, we are collectively the second coming. We are saving ourselves. We are God made manifest in this third dimension on this beautiful planet Earth, and we are the Great Awakening.